Ladies and gentlemen, we now have the next conversation coming up. We have a special fireside chat. This one is fireside chat is about the topic Hours Play Driving Innovation in Dynamic World of Advertising. But prior to that, we have a special promo coming up. So can I please request the team to play the promo, please, for all of us?
We are Havas Play. 500 specialists, 18 cities, 1 community. Helping the world's biggest brands play meaningfully in culture. Branded content, social, live experience, sponsorships, partnerships, influencer and creator is how we connect brands to people through the things they actually care about. In a world full of advertising noise, a world where 75% of brands could disappear and no one would care, it's never been more important to make work that people want to spend time with. Work that entertains. Work that helps to create change.
Thank you so much to my friends over there at the console for playing this. Can I have a bigger round of applause for the promo, please, ladies and gentlemen? Hours Play it is. The Fireside Chat. I'll repeat the topic for you once again. This is driving innovation in dynamic world of advertising. Can I please request Mr. Siddhartha, Laik, founder and editor-in-chief IWMBuzz Media, to join me over here on stage, please? And he'll be joined on stage by Mr. Mohit, Joshi, Chief Executive Officer, Havas Media Network India. Give them a big round of applause, please, ladies and gentlemen. And we have Prahlad sir over here as well. Can I please request all of you to clap loudly for Mr. Prahlad as well, ladies and gentlemen. He's a legend and a stalwart in his field.
Thank you so much, Mohit sir.
Thank you, Siddhartha.
To begin with, for supporting us as a title sponsor partner for the event. It's very important when we try to do something new, innovative. Leaders like you believe in what we are trying to say. To begin with, a big thank you to you and your entire team, Prachi, Shikha, everyone. Now, we were doing some research on the kind of work you're doing at Havas Play, the kind of campaigns you have done, and my team was saying that pretty innovative stuff, and before I get into the core conversation of the topic, which Subhojit has already mentioned, and we have a screen behind talking about it, OTT platforms के बारे में कुछ बताइए sir. It's been a rise and rise and rise. There are opportunities for SVOD, AVOD. How do you see the rise of OTT platforms in Indian ecosystem?
So thanks Sid for having me here. The rise of the OTTs has been a case study in itself in India. So we are in the top 5 markets globally now, with close to about 55 crores, OTT users. However, the paid subscribers continue to be less at about 10 CR, but that doesn't matter. What matters is that OTT has clearly changed our habit of viewing, right? And while this would have happened otherwise as well, but given COVID, I think we got a step increase in the viewing habits, and OTT suddenly got into the mainstream platform. The other thing that one thing I want to disagree with everybody regarding OTT is we still call OTT a small screen phenomena. While currently it is a small screen phenomena because I think about 80% of it is being viewed on the small screens, but it's not going to be a small screen phenomena for long. It is the main screen phenomena, right? Because you have a big screen or you have the television screen at home. The OTT is being viewed over there already, right? All of us in this room are viewing it over there. It's the rest of them who are not. But given the way the smart TVs are getting penetrated in the Indian market, I personally feel that this small screen phenomena is only there for a very short while, and OTT will be one more television screen that you'll be viewing other than the linear TV. So linear TV is going to be existing, OTT will be existing, and
connected TV phenomena that you're talking about.
Exactly. So I think it's growing at a phenomenal pace, which happens in India for anything that reaches that inflection point. And I personally feel that because of the OTT, we have recognized a lot of people who otherwise would not have been recognized in the larger scheme of things. So we've got great amount of talent which has come up from the OTTs. It's like the IPL, you know. The IPL allowed many grassroots level cricket players to come and show their faces. Similarly, OTT, the proliferation of OTTs has suddenly given us so many more performers in the television space, and they are progressing to movie space as well. So I think it's a fabulous phenomenon, and this is just the start of it.
So, understand when you say that it's going to grow, you are a big boss at Havas Media Network, you keep busy with all the Excel sheets or pitches or plans, but do you get an opportunity to binge watch? कुछ आपको opportunity मिलता है OTT में देखने का?
See, during the COVID time I did, I'll be very honest with you, but otherwise not. The only thing that I was compelled to binge watch was Panchayat. Right, and even the third season, which I did very recently, I'm not one of those जो शुरू में करते हैं ना, the ahead of the curve. I'm one of those जो बाद में करते हैं. So Panchayat 3 also happened last week only, or last week when I was slightly relaxed. But I binged watched it. So I started with it.
Liked it?
Yeah, I did like it. Of course, the first season was the best, and after that, it has not been able to sustain that level of, I would say, inquisitiveness and, yeah, but it's good. It's good.
So you watch Panchayat, so I'm sure the Prime guys would be happy, and Vijay Koshi at TVF will be happy that you're watching Panchayat. You know, Havas Play as an agency is almost like infant. Like, you know, it started, I believe, in 2023, if I'm not wrong. And it's already making good strides. You know, it's doing good campaigns. The people are good. The energy is good. I've interacted with your team. The vibe is very aggressive in terms of getting things done. So, how did you think of an idea like this? And how do you see it progressing in time to come?
Okay. So, Sid, I mean, while Havas Play as a brand is new, but content is not new to Havas.
True.
You know, as you know, Havas is a part of the Vivendi group, so content is running in our blood, right? Even otherwise, before Havas Play came into existence, we had Havas Sports and Entertainment in many countries, right? So we were very big in Latin America, the entire Europe, with sports and entertainment. And there were many different brands that were running across the various geographies. And during this period, the digital revolution also happened, the OTT revolution happened, social revolution happened. So what was decided at a global level that let's club all these capabilities under one brand, and let's call it Havas Play, which has content, which has sports, which has entertainment, which has social, which has events, everything coming under one roof. They were being done by different, I would say, brands in different markets, but we conglomerated it under one roof and made it into a strong brand.
So more focused in terms of targeted.
So that it becomes a very strong second agency at Havas, or a speciality for that matter at Havas. And the reason why it is being done is because classical advertising is not going to sustain businesses, right?
Interesting.
We've realized that during COVID, advertising budgets got slashed. After that, they did come up, but not to the extent to
not at the pre-COVID level.
Absolutely. Yeah. And then there was a huge amount of fragmentation that happened. A lot of money started getting into digital. Today, digital is the number one medium when it comes to AdX percentage. So what is happening in all this? There's a huge amount of fragmentation, and the classical media and advertising business has been disrupted significantly. And that's where the thought of getting into the content space, because that's where the brands are rushing now. The brands don't want to show their 30-second or 60-second commercial anymore. That will happen. But they want to be integrated in an environment which is meaningful. And again, you heard that video that just played. The philosophy that we follow in Havas is we create meaningful brands. And you heard that lady saying that 75% of the brands could disappear tomorrow and consumers would not care. And this is not just I would say, a caption, but this has been proved by research that we've been doing over the last 12 plus years. Even in India, close to about 60%, 65% of the brands could disappear and consumers would not care. So at Havas, we have taken this responsibility of building meaningful brands. A brand that you cannot live without. A brand that if it disappears tomorrow, you will be sad and you will want that brand to be back, right? And we thought that Havas Play had a huge role to build meaningfulness for brands. Because advertising can only take brand to a particular level. Content can supersede that and take it to a different level altogether because you connect with consumers when they are very passionate. So if you are connecting with a consumer in that most passionate environment in which he or she is connecting with that media, you create meaningful media. And that's what the intent of Havas Sports was, that wherever the consumer is, wherever the passions are, the brand should be present in that environment in a meaningful way.
You're making them still relevant in different ways, and I believe that's the core strength at the agency. So, sir, you've been around for some time in terms of understanding how advertising world has changed. I mean, Prahlad sir is here, of course, he's a doyen in the space. So
we have grown up seeing his advertising.
Yeah, so he's still relevant, he's still, he's still there to make stories. He's become a storyteller now as a creator. We have a session with him later in the day. But how do you drive innovation, sir, in today's advertising era? You mentioned what Havas Play is doing, but as someone sitting at the top of the table, of course, you have your own challenges where you go to the client and say, do this. Client will say, "Isse kya hoga? आप क्या बोल रहे हो? आप टीवी में डाल दो, आप ये hoarding लगा दो." There's always a traditional versus innovation battle. So how do you drive innovation, sir, in today's time?
I mean, we have to educate clients and tell them what is the right thing, right? Because we are the custodians of their budgets. And the entire marketing budget is our responsibility. So if we are telling them that only a television plan is going to work, then we are not being true to our job. And we are only looking at revenue as an output from them. We should be looking at what is right for the brand. And if you do any consumer research today, you'll realize that advertising is only going to take your brand indices to a particular level. The content integration is becoming absolutely critical, and that's what we show our clients. And we show them cases of how brands have become very meaningful, have become very purposeful using the right kind of content integrations.
It varies brand to brand.
Absolutely. So, there are two things that we do. We obviously ride on existing, I would say, existing content pillars, right? For example, you have the big content pillars that are there across OTTs or media. We ride on those. We also create IPs. So that's the other thing. So if for a brand, say Hyundai, I see something very relevant in a KBC or, a Khatro Ke Khiladi or something else, I would associate with that and integrate the brand in a meaningful way there. But if I feel that I need to do something very different, which doesn't exist in the environment at this point in time, I'll create a unique IP and then partner with a relevant media and propagate that. Yeah. So we've done that enough for many clients, and I can give you some examples.
I'd come to that. That can you talk about some of the key projects, highlights that happen in over time?
One more thing that we do is we also do a lot of knowledge sharing. So we take out reports because content is a space which is very vague, gray. There is no,
there's no 2 + 2 flow as such.
Exactly. Media has so many reports, there is monitoring, there is everything that's happening. So you know exactly how big is the media industry is and how much is being put on TV, how much is being put on digital and all that. But when it comes to content, it's a gray area. So we try to take out reports. And when I say reports, these are all research reports, quantitative research reports around content, around how they are building brands. Is content building brands in a better way than advertising? So all those thought leadership areas are also being driven by Havas Play. It's not just the creation of IPs, but also about creation of thought leadership around the IPs and around content and around meaningful content at large. So some of the some of the I would say the IPs that we have created, which have been very very successful. One is Ganga Kinare. So these are all with a very meaningful theme, because the government is talking about cleaning Ganga, and they want the youth of India to be aware of it, right? We are all aware of it in a meaningful way, and it's not by going and cleaning the ghats of Ganga and all that stuff, because that becomes very apparent and obvious. So this is a music festival where we are going from one Ganga Ghat to the other, building this narrative of why a clean Ganga is important for the country. So we've started with Banaras, and this year we'll do it in some other places. So along the Ganga, we are going to be going with, we had we had Kailash Kher last year who performed over there. This year it will be Kailash Kher and some others. But the whole intent is not to create a music festival, but it is to create awareness around a very important
Not make it didactic.
aspect.
It's
Not
like engaging and awareness.
Absolutely. The other one which I love the most is Hyundai, where they have associated with the cause of making a more disability-friendly environment in India. We call it Samarth. Because if you look at it, like if there was anybody with a disability, that person wouldn't be able to come onto the stage without the help of somebody. Now this is
interesting point. Yeah.
This is a thought. This is a thought that is not seeping in the minds of Indian consumers. Whereas
True, absolutely
there are many
true,
other countries where this is given. And I'll tell you that there is an anecdote related to it. So what is Hyundai doing? Hyundai is saying, we want to create this whole awareness around disability friendliness. Your buildings should be disability friendly. Your stages should be disability friendly. They are bringing out disability friendly cars. And you have seen them in other countries where, you can easily get down from a wheelchair and get into the car and all that. In India, it doesn't happen, but they are propagating that cause. And that's such a meaningful and such a purpose.
Very meaningful.
Cause. Yeah. So when we did, obviously it is a very large thought. So we partnered with a media partner, media house. We got the government machinery to support us, and we made people to come and pledge that they will work towards disability-friendly India. Now we are supporting the Paralympics that are happening right now. So anything and everything that's happening, we did a blind, Venkat, we did a blind cricket tournament as well. Cricket we shouldn't be calling them blind, cricket for the
maybe visually challenged.
Visually impaired. Yeah, I think these narratives also should change. We say, blind, this. So I think it's a very, very noble cause. And it's not about making money on that. We are not making huge amount of monies and revenues on it. But associating with something as basic and as relevant as that brings Havas play to a different forum altogether. So there are many more. And we are doing something with the Sundarbans. I don't know whether you know how many people over here know that Sundarbans is the largest delta in this country.
True,
right?
true.
There are, because people have encroached the tiger land, or the animal land, there are villages where there are only widows because all the men have been killed by the tigers. So this whole concept of creating meaningful ways of livelihood for the widows, the Sundarban widows, right? And again, we are getting brands to associate with it. So I think these are things that keep you...
Is this for the government or for any specific...
No, this is for brands. So it's for the brands, and somewhere the government, you have to liaison with them because you get into those domains which are important.
Absolutely.
We've done a lot of forest plantations over there, and so these are not things that a media agency can do.
Yeah.
But as Havas Play, we can do that.
That's how you've kept the focus.
We are bringing some of the new phenomena like ball and all into India and creating tournaments for them. So, sports is very important, but beyond cricket. How do you go beyond cricket? So, I think Venkat and his team is doing a fabulous job over there. So, there's a huge pipeline that is there, and opportunities are immense.
So, what's your ultimate vision, if I ask, at Havas Play? How do you see it emerging in, say, a couple of years' time?
I think the vision is it's not about revenue. It's not about being number one. It's just about whenever anybody thinks about Havas Play, it brings a smile to their faces that this is an agency which is doing a very meaningful work, right?
Different and
absolutely
impactful.
Different, innovative, meaningful work. While we'll drive revenues for sure, but that's not with which we'll go into the market.
It's a layer on the overall thought process.
Today we can go to any brand in the country and pitch to them an idea that they'll love to do. And many times these ideas and the monies for these ideas are coming from below the line cost. So you're not even directly attacking the ATL budgets.
Yeah.
So that's the other beauty of it. So you may have any other agency working on the ATL budgets, but you might go and talk to a client and get the money from their BTL budgets and do a very meaningful event or an IP for them.
So your focus, of course, will be a lot of innovation in terms of brand solutions, focusing around the cause ecosystem. Any specific learning while doing that, where you think things can get better?
See, you can always do things better. Point is, India is still not ready for cause advertising and purposeful advertising. Somewhere it has to be subtle, because if you do it a little too hard, then you start getting flagged for it. This is happening because they want to show that they are associated with it.
It shouldn't be in the face.
Exactly. So I think it's a very subtle thing. When you do, a Samarth, it has to be subtle, because you can't be putting Hyundai over there
as a big logo.
As a big logo. But you should be proving to the consumers or the viewers that Hyundai is actually dedicated to that cause.
Yeah.
So tomorrow when they bring the cars and make the people realize that this is what they were doing it for, they are doing it for, it's a different ballgame altogether.
I think it's very interesting and engaging. It's a learning experience for me also, because we have not been able to chat more on how cause advertising can lead to the next thing. Any final thoughts, sir, before we end the session? Any final thoughts for people sitting here, or the organizers, or anything you want to end up with, sir?
I think advertising, we need to think more. I think we always constrain ourselves with what is happening. The very fact that Havas Play is doing things like this means that we are opening our minds to what is possible to be done, rather than what is there and is being done by others. Think about what is right for the brand and do that. So I think that's my larger learning from Havas Play and advertising in general.
Thank you so much, Mohit sir. That was Mohit sir for you from Havas Play, and it was very passionate. I can see the passion in him when in terms of the cause that he is supporting. Thank you so much, sir, for supporting us, and
thank you very much.
All the best, sir.
Thank you so much. Please give it up loudly for Mr. Mohit over here, and I'll request you to kindly wait. I'll request Siddhartha sir to kindly hand over the token of appreciation to Mohit sir for this wonderful session. Thank you so much for joining us. We have it coming from there. Sir. And in the meantime, I'll request my friends over there at the console to send some mics. We have the first panel discussion coming up. So can we have some mics over here on stage for all the speakers, please? Thank you so much. Please give Mr. Mohit a bigger round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.